When a company offers you a job, what do you do next? In this video, we're going to talk about how to deal with a job offer, what you should do, what you need to evaluate, and whether or not you can actually negotiate the terms. So, stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is already the 9th and last episode of Get Ready With Me to Get Hired this 2020 or whichever year you're watching this video. Yep, this is the last episode for now. If you haven't watched the first 8 episodes, then make sure you do. I will link the playlist on the description below so you can check it out after this video, or if you want to review or go back to those videos. So it is just fitting that we're going to have this topic as our last episode for this series because, of course, where does it all end? When you have already applied for a job, you have gone through the tests, you have gone through all the interviews, it all ends to a job offer if and when you get hired. So what is a job offer? A job offer is a formal meeting wherein the company will now ask you to formally and officially ask you to be a part of the company. In short, you're hired. Congratulations. So what are you going to do? Of course, it is still up to you to accept the job or not. But knowing you, and if let's say you're applying for an entry-level position in the BPO industry, you are applying for a job because you want it, obviously, right? I'm going to talk about the job offer that I have experienced and what usually transpires during job offer or a job offer in the BPO industry. And I'm saying this because when you are in a different situation, for example, you are applying for a supervisory role, or maybe you're not an entry-level applicant, it can be very different. You will have a better position to negotiate the terms and the offer. So let's begin. Just a little bit of a story. When I first had my job offer, I was not really sure what job offer means. I just got a call from the company asking me to go to their office because I need to do something or sign something, but I wasn't really sure what it was and that it was already a job offer. But since the company called me, then I said, yes, okay, I'll be there. And once I was there, I already had to sign the papers. And it was actually already the job offer, and I did not realize it. So I was not really sure whether I would accept the job or not, especially that I would be relocating to a different city. But I knew somehow that I had to evaluate my options first. So what I did was, before I signed all those documents, I called my mother and I asked her if I should accept the job. And I called her because I was just 20 years old. I did not graduate from college yet. I was waiting for graduation, and if I'd accept that job, I'd be working right after my graduation. So my mother said, sure, go ahead, yes, accept it. So I accepted it. And I had to stay for at least 5 months because I had a training bond. Otherwise, I'd have to pay the training bond. And so all is well and good. I signed the job offer and I would start right away the next month. So I'm saying this story because there might be a few people in your life there might be a few people in your life that you want to inform before you sign that job offer. And there are so many things that you can evaluate. I already actually talked about the factors that you can think of before you start applying. I will link the episode up here. But when you're applying, or when you're in a conversation or interview with the hiring manager, you don't really talk about the compensation and benefits. And the job offer is just that. The papers will contain basically your compensation or your salary, all your benefits, and what are expected from you. So A lot of people actually don't go through their job offer or the contract. A lot of them don't read what is in that offer, which is sad because once you're already on the floor and you're already officially hired, it will still all go down to you not reading your contract because you don't know what's on the contract, and then you signed it and then you agreed to it, right? And it's too late to back out because you're already there. So you have to first evaluate what's on the contract. Take some time to read it. Don't just sign it right away. Of course, you'll have that some sort of pressure once you're already there in the room, and then the HR personnel or the hiring manager and then the HR manager or personnel will ask you to sign the papers. You're so excited because you want to start a job, but then again, it's not an excuse for you to just sign the papers without reading them. While money is not just the only thing that you should consider, we all have to admit that it is important. You have to look at how much you will be paid and how much you will receive every month. You might also actually look at when you will be paid. Most likely it's going to be twice a month, but how is the payment method? Or are you going to be paid every other week? Or is it a fixed schedule? Is it 15th and 30th if you're here in the Philippines, or whatever it is that the company deems appropriate? Aside from that, you should also check the benefits, like when are you going to get your, say, HMO or your health insurance? Are you going to have a life insurance? And most likely you will have. Are you going to have some sick leaves or paid leaves? How about personal leaves? All those non-monetary benefits that are also important for your work-life balance. Another thing is, if you're planning to move to a different department or to a different account, you might also want to check that on the job offer or contract and see if you are eligible or if you are allowed to move, if you're allowed to apply for a different position in a different department, because it happens. For example, you applied as a customer service specialist, but then your skill or your specialty is really in the IT department or HR or admin. You're just using that position as your stepping stone or entry-level position so that you can apply for that position that you want in a different department. So you might want to clarify that as well when you are signing the job offer. The most important thing here is to know what your personal needs are and to evaluate whether the company is able to meet or to at least fulfill your personal needs. If you are a student, for example, will that job allow you to still go to school? If you're a parent, will that job still allow you to pick up your daughter or your son from school and things like that? So you also have to make sure that's all covered. Now on to the next question. Are you able to negotiate the terms of the offer? Now, based on my experience in the BPO industry, there is a very small chance that you are able to negotiate the terms or the offer. That's because if you're an entry-level applicant, everything is already set, everything is already standard. They already even have a template for the job offer. All they have to do is just write your name, write your start date, your account, and then it will be given to you to be signed. Most likely, the compensation, benefits, and expectations are going to be the same for all entry-level applicants. You will be in a better position to negotiate the terms or the offer if you're applying as a supervisor and you're not promoted from the company itself, or you're not an internal hire. You are invited to apply as a supervisor or a manager. Maybe in that case, you can negotiate for a higher salary or benefits that will benefit you as an applicant. But again, as an entry-level applicant, I don't want to say you don't have a choice, because you do, but what I'm trying to say is that what's on the job offer contract is already that. it's most likely just take it or leave it. But the good thing is you have an option. Just because you've already gone through all the interviews, you are required to sign those papers right there and then. If you feel that the job is not for you and you realize that while you are there about to sign the papers, then by all means, just don't sign it and inform HR. It will be best instead of just pretending that you like it and then you regret it after. Of course, there are also people who don't really feel like getting a job, but they signed it and then changed their mind after a few months because they just gave it a try. So it all boils down to your goal. If you want to apply just because you want to start getting a job, to start getting paid for the work that you do, then you should go for it. But if you have a different plan in mind and that job, as stated on the job offer, will not allow you to fulfill that career plan, then it is best to just not sign it and not accept it. You may be asking whether or not it will affect your employment chances in the future in other companies. Personally, I don't think so. If you just politely decline the offer and state your reasons, and the reasons are reasonable, it should not affect your employment chances. In fact, I'd say HR will probably thank you for deciding as early as that when you're not in training yet or when they are not paying for your training just yet. That's really all that I have to say about the job offer and negotiation. I hope you've learned something about it. And thank you so much for following this video series. I sincerely wish you all the best in your job application and your job interviews. And I hope you get a job soon. If you have any questions, just comment below and like this video, share it with anyone who can benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in my next videos. Take care and bye.